And we are on to the Rift for game number one between Comfy Gaming and USC JV. We got a 5-man invade coming out here from Comfy. We'll see if they can find the hook. They have it. Flash hook does not connect.
Yeah, and that's really unfortunate because now Blitzcrank is going to be starting this lane against the Lulu and this area, which should be winning this poke war at least a little bit early, with no flash. So that
Oh,
kind
they're
of
not
sucks.
done.
But we're gonna try it again, I think, with this X
X
flash,
flash.
and there we go.
Oh, hook connects onto Little Luck. Little Luck has flash, but will not use it in first blood. Going over to Guatermelon.
Yeah, and really good to actually look for that Hex Flash again there. They did get that ward earlier on, so they did spot the vibe basing right there. So really, really well played from Comfy Gaming.
Absolutely, and that kill going over to the Kaylin means that they're gonna have a little bit more of this priority in the bottom lane. You know, we talked about in the champion select how Skyo and he just want to scale up for the bot lane of USC, and you know, with Kaylin being ahead, that's just gonna make that even harder. And Joe Kagi's feeling it on the Blitzcrank so far, so we'll have to see what happens there.
Yeah, and we do see opposite side starts from both of these jungles, which means that this Wukong is going to be trying to influence this top side matchup early, which we do see a bunch of trading happening up here. Jace is setting up for it. So I'm assuming that the Wukong is going to end up skipping his Wolves and his Gromp, and we see a hook on bot lane, but I think it's just
Another
going to
hook.
result in a really big chunk. But yeah, so the other thing that we saw was bot lane started bot instantly and got the prio on the first wave, and then it was immediately lost because of how strong this Caitlyn is with this extra long sword. So we're gonna see a lot more of this happening in this lane for the rest of the lane phase.
Yeah, this is gonna be brutal, I think, for USC's bottom lane. But you know, it's all about the execution here. We know that Vi, actually, who started topside, gonna look for maybe a level 3 gank onto Spy, but smartly wards out that tri-bush, and I think Little Luck's gonna go around and try and get a gank here. But both of these junglers now on the top side of the map. Pings are coming down as well here. We'll see. Spy has the flash, so we'll be able to, does have that to get out.
Yeah, and I think that Vi actually shouldn't base
Oh.
here. She should at least look to blow the flash, but she misses the Q.
Here we go. Spy running for the hills. Taking a lot of damage, but doesn't even need to blow the flash after Little Luck missed the Q there on Vi. So successful job by Spy absorbing that pressure and not even having to burn anything for it. But Luck wants more here. Looking to see if he can find anything in the Comfy Gaming jungle. But instead, we'll just find Punjabi and back out.
Yeah, and we're gonna see the Wukong walk into the river to at least check the crab, which it should already be gone. Yes, it is. And now Wukong has already done all of his camps, so he's just gonna beeline through mid, give Veigar back some prio, and then go for the spot crab, probably into reset. I don't imagine that he looks for anything bot here because it's already pushed in. So
Yep. Crucially enough, though, Wukong has completed a full clear, and Vi has only cleared one side of her jungle, so still 3 more camps to take. If you are a Little Luck on this side, and for the time being, Bale is supposed to push back
we're
towards
seeing an
Comfy
invade
Gaming,
from
but
this Wukong
oh,
here.
blue buff secured by Little Luck, but Punjabi wants to fight. They have the prio from this bottom lane, but instead just gonna back up as I guess they didn't want to go for too big of a fight around 4 minutes.
Yeah, well, the problem with taking this invade here, actually, is that, sure, like, the Wukong is stronger, he has a full level lead, but his bot lane, takes longer to actually rotate to this area. He can just E over the wall instantaneously and be at that fight, and the wave would also be frozen under the tower.
Ooh.
I
Smite
do
to take
believe that the
away.
smite was secured by the
Yes.
Wukong there, so
Yep,
we're gonna
Gromp
see an
skill
all-out war
successful
here.
there. Here we go as Skyo jumps over the wall. Numbers in favor of USC here, and one's going to go down as Sky has to flash away. Guatemala using both summoners to try and get out of this play, and will successfully, but 1-0 in favor of USC.
Yeah, and really well played from the Vi there. He knew that he didn't even need the flash, so very, very well played, landing that Q. I think the Wukong just got a little bit too greedy here. He could have just taken his space, didn't even need to take the Scromp, because now this gives Vi a window back into the game, just because he decided to stop clearing and try and steal away camps.
So over right now, the gold lead 500 in favor of Comfy Gaming here. You can see a little bit of a CS lead starting to accrue in this top lane for Spy, which is what you expect to see early on in this matchup. Once Only Going can get those items up, it's going to be a lot easier to actually stay and contest in this lane here. But for the time being, going to be pushed in, going to have to CS under tower. We'll see how effectively they can do that. And first dragon of the game is a Hextech. Haven't seen anyone turn their sights to it yet, but with the bot lane action early, we know that it'll definitely be a point of contention coming up.
Yeah, and it should be Comfy Gaming favored. Just because once the spot lane does get back here, they do have to push. Vi is pathing down, but Wukong is hitting his Grump first in order to reverse his clear. He's just going to take a little bit of time walking past his wolves so that he can do his wolves on his way back towards this dragon. But we do see the pings coming down, and they are going to look to try and get mid-prio here with this Azir and just move over to this dragon. And we're going to see Blitzcrank come over and ward it as well, so they know what's happening. At this point, if I'm the Wukong, I would just clear my wolves and then go into the enemy's jungle and take the red buff, because this is already gone.
First dragon of the game secured by USC JV there. That's going to give him that early neutral objective lead, but gold still in favor of Comfy Gaming for now. Nice stun by Soul. Is going to get a little bit of chip out. Both of these junglers now hovering around this mid lane. Hextech and Nivea just pushing this wave in, trying to roam out. Doesn't have too much gold, so back is not good yet. But in the bottom lane, Joe Kage hits the hook onto Skyo. A little bit of chip damage back. But actually, I'm surprised at how well Skyo and he are actually staying in this lane. I mean, there's a big wave pushing back to them right now, and they're not down that much CS. So overall, I think if you're UFC, you're happy with how this bottom lane's going so far.
Yeah, I mean, it's not too bad, especially for the start that happened. Not only did the Caitlyn get an early kill off of the Blitzcrank Q at the beginning of the game, but she is only up about 10 CS here, and she's going to be up a plate as well. That's just inherent for this lane, but we're probably going to see a dive come out here because the Wukong does have the level 6, so as long as he ERs before the polymorph comes in, he's chilling.
Io has to run, gonna get healed up, but it's not enough damage. Now the teleport comes in from Only Going. Nice ultimate onto 2, but they don't really have any damage to follow this up here. Little Luck is not here yet. Crab is gonna get some CC down, but Little Luck on the flank here does not hit the flash Q, I don't think, but rest of the team is gonna flash over the wall. Only Going, trying to follow it up here as now Hextech and Nivea has joined the party. Punjabi has to flash away to safety as well here, and a double kill comes through for Only Going, and this Malphite now gonna be able to get a little gold into the inventory.
Yeah, and we see
Goal? So as the flash, we'll have to
get the flash. Yeah, and we do see in what sparks that bot lane play is this dive. I do believe they saw that the Wukong did enter the tri-bush from the control ward that is in the jungle entrance bush to blue side. So I think they immediately called the Malphite TP straight to the tower, and he was able to stall just long enough for the Vi to get the flash Q onto the Wukong, I believe is who it hit. So very well played from the side of USC to have the awareness to call their top laner down for that TP, but he did lose 2 plays in the process, so that is the trade-off.
Still an overall gold lead for Comfy Gaming, about 1,000 here. Spy, ooh, almost caught Yi there on that recall, or he on that recall, but a little bit too late there, and we do have a little bit of a lull in the action now as the Herald has spawned. I'm sure that'll be the next sort of area that we're going to get a fight around, but trading in this mid lane, Hextech and Nivea and Soul are going at it. They have reinforcements in the wings, so nothing too heavy yet.
Yeah, and we do see a lot of collapsing on it here because both of these teams do want to play for this Herald. This Herald will basically swing the gold lead back for USC or swing it even further forward for Comfy Gaming, especially if they drop it top lane this game. If this Jace gets super ahead, which is already up 20 CS, he might be down 2 kills, but he is up about 300 gold. on his own in this lane. So if the side of Comfy Gaming does get this and give it to this Jace, this lane might just be completely
Oh,
unplayable for Malphite.
uh-oh. Spy is going for this 1v1, but you do not win this. Malphite still has ultimate. Nice flash from Spy to dodge out of the unstoppable force, as now Little Luck has joined the party here, and Spy is just going to go down to that Q from Vi. So a nice job there by only going and Little Luck to secure that kill top lane, and that's going to give some of that gold back.
Yeah, and we see immediately, since the Lulu did roam up, they essentially immediately poked out this area and then went straight for the tower plates here. So there's a good chance that the Caitlyn does just straight up get this tower off of this next wave coming in for the crash.
I think so. And, you know, Skyle's not going to back yet, as he is walking back down to try and help out. Little Luck on the other side of the map, taking the Herald in, but a nice hook comes through. Ignite's going to be ticking, but now he has joined the party. Guatemala has that ultimate if they want to use it, but he was there to distract. So no ace in the hole yet. Skyle is still sitting 1 HP. We'll see if he wants to go for it. No, will not. And instead, just going to get 4 plates bottom lane. And right now, Guatemalan is up 1,300 gold on Skyle.
Yeah, and we're actually just going to see the Caitlyn stay here because the Zeri has to base. But we do see the Vi hovering, so if the Caitlyn pushes too far forwards here and Lulu just walks up and polymorphs her, she does just die to the Vi QR. And we are going to see her back away on the map and take her base, so...
Uh-oh. Spy wants it again. A little bit of a better trade this time for Spy there, but it's going to start getting really hard to fight this Malphite now. Has the Steel Shoes completed, Bomby Cinder, and Sheen as well. So a little bit more damage here, but into this bottom lane in the river, hook lands. Nice usage of Emperor's Divide onto Punjabi, and he is in trouble here as the ultimate comes through from Vi, and he's going to find the last kill on that one. And with the jungler dead for Comfy Gaming, opens the door for USC to start up this dragon.
Yeah, and we're probably going to see a continued fight on this.
Ooh, another hook lands here as Hextech and even taken really low, has to flash away to safety, but the dragon will be secured by USC. Look at the fight coming after here as Joe Kage's caught in the pit, flashing with the ultimate. Is going to find Hextech and Nivea, but nonetheless will trade their life in the process here. 2 dragons to 0 in favor of USC.
Yeah, and we saw at the beginning of that fight that the Wukong just opted to not press any of his buttons until he got hit with the Emperor's Divide, and I think that ultimately spelled his doom at the beginning of that fight. If he had just pressed E when he zeroes over the other side of the wall, and then pressed W to go back over the wall, and then Q'd, I think his team actually did have follow-up for his combo there. He just needed to press, but he was a solo kill from the Caitlyn onto the Zeri, and that's once they get this wave push out, that's gonna be free tower as well. So very well played from Guatemalan.
Nice usage of that combo with the flash, with the Gale Force, and the net there, picking up that solo kill. And yeah, like you said, that means this bot lane tower should go down here. He might be getting a bit too aggressive trying to clear these wards, but we'll be able to get that out. And Herald spawned up into this mid lane, gonna try and crack this mid lane tower.
Yeah, and I actually don't think that they are going to get this tower here. It's a little bit too healthy still. With the Rift Herald changes, it does only take a plate and a half now, regardless of where the HP is at. And we also didn't see the bot lane tower fall because Caitlyn couldn't get it pushed fast enough. So we're still fighting for first tower.
Oh, what a play in the top lane here as the ultimates are being used. Spy does not have flash. Gonna go golden to just delay the inevitable. And Little Luck gonna find themselves their second kill of the game.
Yeah, and we're starting to see a very common theme of Little Luck is just in the correct place at the correct time, way before Punjabi Munda is. And if this keeps happening, you really have to wonder if it's something to do with Punjabi not being on like a champion that he's super comfortable on, or if Little Luck is just the better player, because we've seen it for the past about 6 or 7 minutes where Little Luck has just gotten free ganks, and there has been not really any response from this Wukong.
Bottom lane tower falls, and that extends the goal lead to over 1,000 now. However, the kills are still in favor of USC, so Little bit of a discrepancy on the scoreboard there. Spy gonna hit smack away at this tower top lane as well here, and I think might just be able to take it. We'll see what defense only going can put up there. We'll be able to dissuade for the time being. Soul is Mountain for game number 1 of this best of 3. And so that means we're going to get some extra tankiness, which is always nice.
Yeah, and both of these teams actually really love Mountain. I think more so USC really likes it, especially since they are the Zeri comp. They want to be have their Zeri be as tanky as possible. So that is very, very nice for them if they do manage to pick up the next 2. However, if Comfy Gaming does pick up the next 4, that means that this Veigar and this Wukong should pretty much be unkillable as well. So it'll be, I think the next Dragon is really going to set the tone for which team is probably going to get to the Soul this game.
Absolutely. A minute and 20 seconds until that Dragon spawns here. So we should see both of these teams starting to take their resets shortly and try and be back on the map to set up for that drag before it spawns. We'll have to see who is able to get the prio there, because obviously Soul has to back still. Guatemalan still has to back, I believe. Yeah, both of them sitting over 1,000 gold right now. And the timer is under a minute, so... But also Little Luck is top lane. Both junglers are top lane.
Yeah, and we're going to see Little Luck just going to free kill again because both ultis are up, and they are probably both going to come down. Yep, there we go. Now we're going to see the Wukong come through, but I don't think anything's going to happen.
Yeah, I don't think they want the smoke. Only Going does, however. And Little Luck's gonna go back in, but nice usage of the clone to get out of there. Dragon spawning in 30 seconds as he has roamed up to this play as well here, and they might just look for this Rift Herald. They being USC with the dead top laner for Comfy and the advantageous number advantage.
Yeah, and we do see that USC doesn't actually have vision in this bush, so they do get a free hook onto this Azir who is walking towards this, and as long as that Caitlyn missed hits, he would die. There we go. Oh, he's down.
Ace in the hole comes through here, and the Herald fight coming through. Little Luck taken down as well here as a huge shutdown goes over there. The Rift Herald secured by Guatemalan. Only Going will get hooked as well here. Think we'll be able to get out just barely off of that stun, but Guatemalan still chasing. Thumbs up getting thrown down, but a big play for Comfy Gaming there, and USC just a little bit careless.
Yeah, and Comfy Gaming does actually get the Rift Herald, and they're just going to throw it down mid. It should mostly get this mid turret. It might break it down completely. Yes, it should. Now that I'm checking the health of the tower, and they're going to turn it into the Dragon play. So, as I said before, this is going to set the tone probably for the rest of the game. Whoever gets this next Dragon, because now they have stopped USC's Dragon stacking, and now this Caitlyn is on their 2-item spike. This Caitlyn is online. She's up 3k gold towards her counterpart, although it might not look like it. So if they can play around this Caitlyn and get these dragons off of the mid priority that this Caitlyn does have, it's going to be a very, very difficult time for USC.
Do have to keep in mind, though, with how these team fights play out, a lot of go buttons for USC JV here and a lot of lockdown potential into the back lines if there's any mispositioning from Guatemalan. So still does have to be careful here, and USC always has opportunities back into this game just based on the composition that they drafted. Only Going and pushing this wave into the top lane. Spy is back to clear it out, and Little Luck is up here again in this top lane. We'll see if they can find another kill. No flash on Spy, and the CC connects, and this is just a dead Jace again here.
Yeah, and they didn't even need to use any of their ultimates either, since Spy did not have his flash up. They do not need to Unstoppable Force or use the VIR to get to him. And we're going to see another fight breakout.
Punjabi Mundo with the Cyclone. Going to be spinning as he's taking pretty low. Guatemalan on the side. Throwing over the Piltover Peacemaker, but not connecting. Baron spawning in under 10 seconds here as we approach the 20-minute mark in this game.
Yeah, and I actually do think that as long as the Vi doesn't find a cease and desist on top of this Caitlyn, that Gaming's front to back is just a little bit better at the moment, just due to the item advantage that the Caitlyn and the Veigar does have over their lane counterparts. So it'll be interesting to see if a fight does actually break out over this Baron, because Comfy Gaming does have a ton of vision on it. And the only thing that USC does have is the one little ward inside of the jungle entrance and the crab vision. So I'd like to see a little bit of a contest on the side of Comfy Gaming here, since they do have the priority from all our champs right now.
We'll have to see if they're able to get into that top side as Jokage looking for something in this mid lane, but look at the rest of USC collapsing here. Guatemala bringing the flash with the cease and desist. You're going deep as Guatemala is taken quite low, and nice stun coming through. Guatemala will survive for the time being, but the unstoppable force will be able to find the damage on the back side here. Spy has joined the party as well, doing a lot of damage to the front lines. Is now only going, has to run for the time being, a 1-for-0 in favor of USC. They've taken down that Caitlyn.
Yeah, and I actually think that Caitlyn did the best job she possibly could to get away from both the cease and desist and the unstoppable force, but unfortunately she had to burn every single cooldown to get away from that cease and desist. So the unstoppable force did come in, and it did take her down finally. But the good news is that all that gold that from the shutdown on the Caitlyn did go to that Malphite. And that is the one good thing that did happen for Comfy Gaming Shield in that scenario.
Yeah, not the most ideal person that you'd want that big shutdown going on to, but nonetheless, gold for the team. And if you take a look at the scoreboard, the gold has now been evened up. So, gold is evened up now, and Dragon spawning in a minute 30, a potential Mountain Soul point if USC can get into that bottom side river and secure that one there. But Comfy Gaming has been putting up a pretty decent fight here despite being down kills.
Yeah, and I mean, in all honesty, the kills don't matter too much this game, just because they do have a bit more of a siege comp on the side of Comfy Gaming. They are looking to take these plates, take these towers, and that's where they're going to get most of their gold. Obviously, they will not complain if they do pick up a kill here and there, but the main objective for Comfy Gaming is to get these objectives and get these towers. So we do see the Blitzcrank hook come out.
Hook goes wide as Jokage now taking a lot of damage on this front side. Hextech and Nivea on the side has a flank potential, but here the double ultimates come in. Guatemala has been caught, but will still alive for the time being. 1 HP, but will go down to the soldiers of Hextech and Nivea. Punjabi's gonna fall in the pit as well, and Jokage and Soul running for the hills. Nice stun there. Gonna stop only going for the time being, but either way, 2 members dead for Comfy Gaming, and this Dragon spawning in 20 seconds should give all of the agency to USC.
Yeah, and USC doesn't even really care. Oh, we see the Blitzcrank hook come out.
Style could be dead. Yes, just gets one-shotted there as the damage comes through, and that's a really good pick.
Yeah, that pick probably saves the game, actually, because now USC actually does not have the DPS to hit this Baron, and they are peeling back off of it and going straight back to the Dragon for the soul point. I do think that this is maybe a little bit contestable with the Jace poke and the Veigar poke, but they have to stall a very long time, and it's already very low.
Nice stun coming through. Hextech gonna be taken really low as they aggress onto Soul. Cease and desist being used there. Soul's gonna go down as Little Luck goes on a killing spree. Dragon's gonna be secured by USC, their rival. Only going now. Running for the hills. The Spy's gonna flash onto him, and I think this should be a dead Malphite. No, the unstoppable force comes back up, and he's able to get out. So it seems USC seems to get away with murder there.
Yeah, only dropping zero deaths there is actually pretty illegal in my book. I think once that Azir got hooked initially, he should have just been blown up, but he managed to get out without even burning flash. So really well played from the side of USC to secure the Dragon and have no deaths along with it.
Look at this hook here. 4 members in this top side. Little Luck is going to go down, and the shutdown goes to Guatemala right onto that Caitlyn. I think maybe Comfy looks to start Baron here with the dead jungler on USC.
Yeah, and it should be mostly free because the only ultimates that they have are really non-engage ultimates on the side of USC. It's only the Azir shuffle that is up for the side of USC, and they do actually have to back away due to all the poke. from the Azir as well. So very well played to know that they can just poke them off of this Baron, and disaster is averted.
Comfy Gaming now sitting at a 6-kill disadvantage, but the gold is negligible there. We talked about that in the early game, how much value they got off of those early turret plates in the top lane, in the bottom lane as well here, and still fighting strong. But don't forget this, that USC wanted to scale in this game. They have the Zeri, they have the Azir, they have these really, really hyper scaling champions, and you have to think that, you know, Comfy has to start increasing the pace of this game. Otherwise, they're just going to get outscaled.
Yeah, and I do think that Comfy Gaming is on a little bit of a timer, assuming that the
Oh?
Veigar does actually have a hard time getting caught out in these fights. So we do see the TP come through from the Malphite after that huge chunk does come out from the Jace onto the Azir. And the Azir are just going to walk away and probably run back top off the wave bouncing. So that'll be the end of that.
Comfy can just do Baron here. They saw two members, both of the solo lanes bot. And now with little luck showing on this bottom lane as well, on this dive here, this is going to be a free Baron as he gets hooked, has to flash over the wall. But 3 members only for USC in this top side of the map means the Baron should go over, you know, unless there's some steal that happens, but no, it doesn't. And he gets hooked, will fall as well here. Now Skyo gonna see what kind of damage they have here. Look at the flank from Little Luck and only going. They are behind the enemy team here as they're going onto Jokage. He's alive for the time being. Cease and desist onto Guatemala. They have caught the AD carry as another shutdown comes through. This time onto Vi. So Baron on only 2 members of Comfy Gaming, but crucially, they deny it from USC.
Yep, and that was the main point of hitting this Baron here, because once that Jace does go down, and the side of USC can actually just go to this Baron pretty much immediately, because they, as you saw, they do just have the tools to blow up at least one of the 2 carries on the side of Comfy Gaming for free. Regardless of the Flash or the Gale Force or like a Zonius does come through on the side of Veigar. Obviously, he doesn't have it yet, but I assume he will end up building it this game just due to all that lockdown.
Yeah, this is a really, really tough game to play as a AD carry if you're, you know, Comfy Gaming, because there are so many engage tools, so many lockdown tools that are ranged that can hit you. And you have to play perfectly in every team fight, and even if you play perfectly, you can still lose the fight. So it's definitely a tough situation to be in. But Guatemala, you know, the game is on their shoulders right now. They have the gold. They have 3 items completed now, working on that 4th, which I assume is going to be the Bloodthirster. And with Dragon spawning in 45, you know we're going to get some action.
Yeah, if USC does get this Dragon, I think that will spell the end of this game. We do see the boss come up from the Vi and the Cyclone come out from this Wukong.
As now he is under threat. Flash hook connects, and that's a dead Lulu. 5v4 in favor of Comfy Gaming right before this Dragon spawns. We'll see if USC still opts to play for it. I don't know if they will. It definitely could be a throw, but we'll have to see. They got 2 shutdowns on their top half of the map, and only going now is getting aggressed on. Very, very tanky, but has the ultimate to get to safety. Dragon spawning about now as we see Comfy Gaming running down to that bottom side river, trying to secure that one and delay this Mountain Soul.
Yeah, and crucially, they did poke out this Malphite, so he has to go all the way back to base. And this Dragon is now uncontested. I honestly didn't think that the Lulu pick didn't really matter too much in that specific scenario. Obviously, it creates a 4v5, but all of the main carries and all of the main engage tools are still up on the side of USC, so I think they could have still contested it up until that Malphite did get poked out. But we do see a hook come through, and Little Luck's GA is going down, and he is going to get trapped on the respawn, but I don't think they have the damage. They do.
Watermelon doing so much damage. Look at the top side, though, as Skyo is going to get the solo kill there. Ace in the hole coming through is going to find the double kill for Guatemala, but will fall to Hextech and Nivea right after that ultimate goes out. And look at Punjabi there with the Cyclone trying to get away, but cannot, as a 450 goes over to Wukong. And now in this bottom lane, Soul and Only Going are scrapping here. Soul trying to push in this bottom lane with the numbers advantage that they have. 3 kills to 2 in favor of Comfy Gaming for that one.
Yeah, and Soul is at about almost 300 AP on his passive. I believe when I clicked on it, it was at 280. And he's around 700 AP right now, just without the decap that he has just purchased. So now he's at about 850 AP, if my math is correct. And he is going to start chunking these squishies and this Vi on the side of USC.
Yeah, this Vigar is coming online now. Completed the 3rd item, like you said, has the Rod of the Ages fully stacked up. And, you know, we can't help but notice that these fights have been going bad for USC when they're getting caught out before the play happens, right? And that's really, really a big testament to Jokage, who's been able to find these hooks, find these picks before the play is, and give Comfy Gaming Shield a advantageous fight.
Yeah, and what I'd like to see Comfy Gaming Shield can continue to do is exactly that. Get more control wards, get more vision down for this Blitzcrank to find these miracle hooks. As my team would say, this Blitzcrank champ can make miracles happen about every 10 seconds for the side of Comfy Gaming. So give him the resources he needs in order to find these miracles.
That is the truth here. Dragon spawning in 2.5 minutes here. Soul and Jokage lurking in the shadows of USC's jungle right now. Trying to find picks, but will instead just make their way back to the base and the mid lane. And not gonna find any plays here. I assume we won't have much fighting until this dragon spawns.
Yeah, and I don't think very much fighting's gonna happen either. In the off chance that Blitzcrank does find a hook, a pick will come down, but I don't think an all-out war is gonna break out. So it should be pretty slow, at least until Baron spawn. We might see a little bit of a contest or a fight over vision, but that should be that, unless the Blitzcrank does find one of those miracles I was talking about.
The gold for USC right now is on Only Going and Little Luck, the top side. Maybe you would have liked to see some more of that on Hextech, Anivia, and Skyo, respectively. But, you know, either way, they are still strong. And, ooh, hook goes a bit wide there. And a lot of these members now from both teams showing in the top side of the map. The Baron has spawned here. Hextech, Anivia has the TP, Soul as well. So both of these mid laners can get to this play, but USC working as a unit to clear out some vision in this top side.
Yep, and this is exactly what you want to see from the side of USC. They want to just stay together as a unit. Hopefully when the Malphite R comes down, they are slightly more spread out, so they aren't all getting hit. But the main idea is that they need to stick together in order to find these big picks on the side of Comfy Gaming. We do see the dragon is spawning in about 35 seconds. Once it does spawn, we are going to see probably a war from both sides. Obviously, if the side of USC does see that they all rotate through mid, so they are going to contest this Baron a little bit harder. And we do see the cage come down, and that will be the Azir flash instantly before any fight breaks out. So that is a very big cooldown that the Vigard just found there for his team.
Big cooldown indeed here. The gold lead 1.6k in Comfy Gaming's favor. They are down a dragon, but Guatemala has started to hit it. But look at USC. On to the Baron they go. Hextech, Anivia not here, crucially, so it is a 4v4 for the time being, but the teleport is coming in as well. About 8k on the Baron, but a nice hook. They find a Skyo, but is it enough damage? Yes, they do. With the evil from Vigar, it's enough. As now Punjabi is spinning in the front lines here. A lot of damage coming out from Hextech and Nivea. Do they have it? Yes, they do. As now Spy is the target. Spy should go down as a nice polymorph comes through. Soul, the remaining damage right now. Ace the hole connects, and it's going to be enough damage to take down Hextech and Nivea as well. As now Only Going, gonna get hooked up. in the middle of the whole team. As Soul will go golden to buy time off of that cease and desist. Nice use of the flash. Little Luck's going to follow it up as now Guatemala in the 1v2 going to find it. And now it's a 1v1. Triple kill comes through for Guatemala as Little Luck is getting shot in the back. Quadra kill for Guatemala, and CCS goes huge.
Yeah, and the craziest thing about this fight, as we watch it back, is that the entire time the Caitlyn is just hitting this Mountain Dragons and getting the soul point for their own team. So this entire fight is actually 4v5 on the side of Comfy Gaming up until that ace in the hole does come in. And now the Caitlyn has finally entered this fight, and she has pretty much the perfect scenario. She just Gale Forces in, kills that person on the top side of that little triangle entrance there towards the Baron, and then she immediately kills that Malphite, and then she just gets the front to back from there.
Yeah, I'm not sure how that play went so south for USC. I mean, Hextech and Ivy hit a 4-man shuffle as well, so you'd think that, you know, USC should be dominating the fight, especially with the numbers advantage, but Comfy Gaming goes crazy and is able to stall out enough for Guatemala to get there. I want to see Guatemala build some sort of like Zonias or not Zonias, but stopwatch, as Comfy Gaming Shield is going to be wearing purple now, up 4.5K.
Yeah, and I think from here on out, until this next dragon spawns, it's just going to be all about Comfy Gaming and finding these Blitzcrank hooks again. Because we saw that last fight, they instantly killed this area, and it was pretty much a free fight. They took it 4v5. And made it a 4v4 pretty much instantly from the beginning. So I think at this point, the game is in Comfy Gaming's hands, especially with all of the tools that they have right now.
It definitely is here. You know, if you're USC right now, you have to kind of figure it out and say, listen, we're losing these fights because of Blitzcrank hooks. We need to stand behind our main tank, which is only going, and even Little Luck can survive for a little bit and at least can go in to the fight. But here we go. We'll see as Hextech and Nivea is going to get hooked up again here. We'll use the shuffle to get out.
Yeah, but we do see the Emperor
oh no, dragged right into 3 people. A nice hook again. Joe Kagi is going crazy right now on this Blitzcrank. Spy is going to go down on the other side of the map, but with the Baroned up minions, Comfy Gaming is threatening the base.
Yeah, and we're going to see the TP come through. He's just going to cage right under this, on top of the Malphite, and then they are going to look to burst this tower and then play front to back immediately with Guatemalan and this Veigar. And it is really, really hard to play this fight on the side of USC because you have to choose your target.
They find him again! Joe Kage again finds the hook onto the enemy. AD carry only going is going to fall as well. And CGS is going to be pushing onto the Nexus. The towers are falling and they find game 1.
Yeah, and that'll be game 1 to Comfy Gaming. And like the really hard part about the end of this game for them, as they pick up this final kill onto the Vi, is that USC really needs to pick and choose which carry they want to go on, and once that Caitlyn got that GA item and the Bloodthirster, she was pretty much unkillable. It is so hard to find anything on her anymore, so you just have to go on that Veigar and pray that your front to back is better with just Caitlyn and no Veigar. So what I'd like to see from at least the USC side of this draft is, I think you had the right idea, but just the wrong execution. Maybe draft a little bit more priority down in that bot lane so that they can get through that early game. I know it's a bit hard since the Caitlyn got an early kill at level 1, but ultimately the Caitlyn got the better of that lane, and USC was finding all these kills early, but they amounted to nothing. So I'd just like to see a little bit more priority from USC, and try and actually run that early game and take the game away with just winning that early game.
Absolutely, and you know, big shout out to the Jokage Blitzcrank finding so many crucial hooks on the backline members of USC there. I mean, if you're USC, you got to think about banning this champ because Jokage put on a clinic with that one. But we are going to take a short break as we get set up for the pick and ban of game number 2. Will Comfy Gaming be able to take it into, or will USC force a third game? We'll be right back to find out. Welcome back to the pick and the ban for game number 2 between Comfy Gaming Shield and USC JV. Comfy Gaming taking the first game in pretty interesting fashion here. I mean, playing through bot lane looked really solid.
Yeah, and we do see a lot of that now in this current meta. I'm sure it might change a little bit um, coming forwards into the next patch on Thursday, I believe. But we do see a little bit of change in this draft. We do see the Wukong getting picked up on Blue 1, but the main thing here is that the bands, I believe, stayed the same, but I would like to see a little bit of change on the side of USC other than this Wukong. I'd like to see a little bit more priority, both in the jungle and maybe the mid lane as well.
Yeah, bans stayed the same. I just double checked here, and Varus is going to be the pick of choice for Guatemalan in this bottom lane. We saw a really solid Caitlyn performance from Guatemalan in game number 1, and going to be opting for Varus this game, which a little bit different, can be played in multiple ways with the lethality or on it, but Fiddlesticks is going to be the lock in here for Comfy Gaming.
Yeah, and it looks like Comfy Gaming is just gonna go for a straight 5v5 comp. The Fiddlesticks is interesting. It's not exactly a champion I'm too familiar with in the jungle since I do not really play this champion. But I do know that he's got a big old ultimate that can fear 5 people if he hits all 5. So pretty good team fight champ.
Ooh,
And on the reverse side, we see the same thing coming up from USC. We do see this scaling AD carry with the big boy Ornn for the team fighting as well. So
interesting. So Aphelios has been getting picked up again recently due to the Thresh buffs that have come through. So now, late game, if you hit a hook on Thresh, the cooldown's like 3 seconds or something. So you can basically just hook back to back after Flay. So that'll be interesting to see if they go for the Thresh or not here. But Soul and Comfy Gaming are gonna pick up this Olaf in Red 3. So we got top, jungle, and AD carry picked up in the first 3 for this champion select.
yeah, and I do really like this Olaf pick. Normally you'd see like a Gwen here or GP once you see the Ornn, but the Olaf is another one of those great counters, and we do see the Lulu ban, and we're probably going to see a support ban from the side of USC. I'm not too sure which one it is. It will be the Nautilus. But I do think that okay, we see a Janet ban. I actually think
Interesting.
that Comfy Gaming should have actually banned the Thresh away since they didn't pick it on Blue 3, like they
They're probably gonna
probably
pick
should
it.
have. But yeah, they will probably end up picking that Thresh on the side of USC if Comfy Gaming does not pick that up on Red 4. So
Yeah, I assume that if Thresh doesn't get banned in this rotation or this ban by USC, it'll get picked up by Comfy and Blitzcrank ban. Smart. I mean, Joe Kage went crazy on it in game 1, so I'm okay with that ban here. And instead it's gonna be Renata actually.
yeah, and we see another team fight champion. I think specifically Renata has really good synergies with this Olaf. He is going to run in, so the Renata is probably just going to slap her attack speed buff and her undying ability on top of this Olaf and just let him go to town. And on the reverse side, we do see this Soraka being hovered. I'm not too sure that I exactly agree with this pick, but it's probably not terrible. And we do see it locked in. It is a little bit interesting because I do think that she does get prio over the Renata, but the Varus is ultimately the champion that is going to dictate the pace of this lane. I do think that the Varus has a slightly better lane into Aphelios, but yeah, I mean, that's the only thing I have here. And then we're just going to see standard control mage pick up because it is blind. So we're just going to pick the safest thing possible, and that is what they did.
Victor the lock in for USC in the mid lane. Last pick coming out here from Comfy Gaming. We'll have to see what it is. Going to be uh facing off against that Victor in the mid lane. So a lot of the times you can see just another control mage, or if you want to go for something aggressive early, you can play something like that. And the Yone is one of those picks where you can just go aggressive early and make Victor's life terrible.
Yeah, and I actually really like the Yone pickup here, and I think it was a little bit of foreshadowing with the Fiddlesticks on two. Uh, to really see an AD mid combo here, I think normally a lot of mid laners would pick the Silas into the Victor, but I do think Yone is another one of those great answers, specifically into that Victor. So the thing that we are seeing here from both of these teams is they are both front to back comps, and the interesting thing is that Comfy Gaming does have the ability to play that pincer style where the Fiddlesticks and the Yone do come from either side and they just layer their ultimates on top of each other. They don't exactly have to play front to back. So there's a little bit more options on the side of Comfy Gaming, whereas it's a little bit harder for the side of USC. I think they're a little bit more forced to play this front to back, just because they did choose the Aphelios, and they don't really have a great champion at flanking besides the Wukong, which into the side of Comfy is a little bit hard because if you try to hit that flank and you get caught out by that Verisar or the Renata hook, you might just be dead. So it's going to be a little tough, and we'll see how the teams do end up playing it out.
Yeah, I mean, like you said, it's definitely going to be interesting here. A lot of tools for Comfy Gaming to start the fight and to end the fight. Quite frankly, I mean, think about all the ultimates that they have that they can layer up, right? With the Crow Storm from Fiddlesticks, the Fate Shield from Yon, and then over the top, if that's not enough, you have Renata ultimate hitting everyone, making them hit each other, and then on top of that, you have Chain of Corruption from Varus, who's going to stun everyone or root everyone in place. So a lot of CC and a lot of very, very powerful ultimates for Comfy Gaming here. But on the other side, USC has some of that opportunity too. They have the Wukong, which we saw um played last game and it looked pretty good last game. It was on the other team, but nonetheless, Wukong does have a place in this game. And then looking at Ornn, you have the long range engage, you have the scaling when it comes to Aphelios and Victor on the side of USC. So it's basically going to see the fights are going to be decided by can Comfy Gaming overwhelm the carries of USC and find them and catch them with one of the ultis. I mean, there's four options, right? And even if you don't catch them with four, Olaf is going to be sprinting out their face with his ulti on. So it's going to be a tough game for Hextech and Evian Skyer to play, I think, just because of all the things that they have to worry about.
Yeah, and while they are just finishing up this pick and ban phase inside of the client, I want to ask you, Rychainz, which team do you have winning this game on your scorecard?
I mean, just looking at the drafts right now, Comfy Gaming's team composition is so scary to fight 5v5. And I mean, usually when you see a strong 5v5 team composition, you want to either match it with a with strong 5v5 or you want to play split. And USC did not draft a comp that can really split too effectively. They don't have the Fiora, they don't have the Jax. Even Jace has been pretty good at splitting recently, but I'm gonna take Comfy Gaming just because I think they're gonna overwhelm USC in all of these team fights. What about you?
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the same. I think Comfy Gaming has a little bit better chance just out the gates off of the draft, and I do think that their draft does allow them to play a little bit more side laney, as you were saying. The Olaf does have a really good side lane into pretty much all of the champions on the side of USC. So if they do end up losing these 5v5s, that Olaf can just do that split push that you were talking about, but. I think we are going to send it over to break while we wait for the competitive integrity delay to go through. So we'll see you when we get into game.
We are back on to the Rift for game number 2 between USC JV and Comfy Gaming Shield here. Comfy Gaming leads by a score of 1-0 for the time being. And speaking of, they have a 5-member invade coming in here. He is going to spot him out. Slow lands. They don't really have too much hard CC aside from maybe a Q from Renata, but instead just going to get the flashes out from this Soraka. So getting Soraka a bit more vulnerable in this bottom lane. And overall, successful invade there.
Yeah, I mean, we saw the same thing happen on the opposite side last game. The team roles are kind of reversed this time, at least for the supports, because last time Jokage was on without a flash of low one. So it'll be interesting to see how the side of USC can weather the storm here against Comfy.
Punjabi looking to, I guess both of these junglers looking to start on their top side. They want to get to bottom lane at level 3, and I understand. I mean, the bottom lane is where the action's going to be. Ornn shouldn't die too much in this lane, and is actually did something pretty interesting where he pulled the wave so that it's going to slow push to him naturally, which is a really big lane mechanic that doesn't get abused too much, but nonetheless a big trade coming out in this bottom lane. But overall, most of these guys are going to be okay.
Yeah, and we're just going to see a lot of coasting from both of these bot laners until the junglers are here. The main thing about this lane is, as the Varus, you do not want to let the Soraka land too many freebie Qs on you, because then it makes the gank just pretty much guaranteed. But beyond that, top lane for the side of USC is going to just look for skilling, as you see another little trade come out bot side here. Same thing for the side of Comfy Gaming's jungler. Both junglers are looking for their 6, but Comfy Gaming's jungler does scale a lot harder. And both bot lanes are just looking to scale, whereas the Victor is the main outlier here between both teams. He pretty much completely outskills Yone to the point where Victor can basically one-shot any champion on this side of Comfy Gaming, aside from that Olaf.
Both of these junglers now on their bottom quadrants here, and a lot of damage onto Watermelon in this early laning phase, just with the Soraka pressure like you were talking about. You don't want to give too much over there, but he's been pretty good on these Qs.
Yeah, and if he lands like 1 or 2 more, this Wukong can just come in since there is no
Here we
ward,
go.
and that's exactly what we're gonna see. Is
Level 3
the
for
all-in is
Comfy.
coming through.
Jokage gonna fight or die. Will find the kill there, but Little Luck is gonna trade it back. Flashing forward from Skyo, getting the root, and one more auto is enough to take down Watermelon. 2 kills to 1 in favor of USC.
Yeah, and we do see Olaf actually walk down and take the top crab for the Wukong showing bot side. So now Punjabi has a pretty good opportunity to actually play for this next crab, and the Wukong should not be able to stay here because Sione has prio of mid lane. So really well played from both sides of both teams, really, on the bot play, and specifically on this side of Comfy Gaming. Top laner to run down and take that crab and deny it from the Wukong.
Might get a little bit more action in this bottom lane here, as both junglers are still around, but looks like Punjabi's just gonna head back up to that bot crab, and CGS is gonna secure themselves the double crab in this early game. First dragon of the game is the Ocean Drag. That'll be spawning in about 20 seconds for the time being. 400 gold lead in favor of USC, and they also hold that kill lead. So USC feeling good about their early game. They actually have the gold lead this time, along with the kill lead.
Yeah, and this is an interesting thing that we see coming out of top laners. We're going to see a really long trade, and the Wukong is going to come up here. But I think the Olaf might trade this.
Oh, one more auto.
Yes,
finds the damage. Low HP Olaf is a scary thing to fight here, but Little Luck is able to win that 1v1, and another top laners traded here. but another kill going on to Little Luck. So this Wukong accelerating themselves into this game right now.
Yeah, and this is really, really bad for the Olaf, actually. He has to burn his CP because the Wukong does get to shove the wave in after killing him. So, because if he doesn't, he did spend about 450 gold on this call after he started D-Blade. And yeah, it's basically forcing the TP because he did expend the money on this call, so he doesn't really want to drop any more farm than he has to. So I think that trade actually turns out being worse for this Olaf.
Oh, wait a minute. Look at the mid play, though. It's Soul going in, but he's back a bit prematurely. I mean, one more tower shot probably would have been enough to take him down, but either way, both ultimates used in this mid lane. And I mean, just playing on a nice edge here mid for both of these players.
Yeah, and I think that R was well, it was a part of that combo that was used a bit prematurely. I think if he stays in his E, he does actually die, like you said. But I think the overall statement that was said there is that Yone was maybe just flexing a little bit, asserting some dominance with that R button, but now he will not have it for this dragon play, which I think his jungler is about to look for. So it'll be interesting to see what ends up happening in that regard. We do see the TP burn out of the Yone, and Victor doesn't have it, so as long as Yone gets this wave push, they do have the priority to actually go and hit this dragon, but Varus is basing, so maybe he can't just straight up do it, because now it's an even man advantage as both the mid and the ADC on either side are coming out of base, and we're going to see a scuffle for this dragon.
3v3 in this bottom side. Ornn TP coming into the mid lane tower. So that's going to be numbers advantage for USC. But Soul going in, getting a nice trade onto Little Luck. But he has no problem healing back up there as the dragon is going to get turned. Is going to turn around and actually go over to USC in this early game.
Yeah, and I think this is a correct play. Once you do see this Ornn on the wave, you probably do have to just give over this dragon. It's a little bit tough for the Olaf to run from top to that dragon in that time frame, so he is just going to trade 2 plates, maybe even 3. I'm not sure. I know for sure he is going to get 2. So
Something interesting that I'm seeing here is taking a look at Guatemalon's build here, opting to go for AP Varus in this game to pair up with the AP damage from Punjabi there with the Halo Blade. So, you know, I know you see the clips of AP Varus on and everything, right? With the one-shotting the 10,000 HP Cho'Gath and all that stuff. So no one is safe when it comes to AP Varus, that's for sure.
yeah, and I actually do really like this itemization here, specifically just for this game, because your only AP source is this Fiddlesticks, and the enemy team is not really going to be building around it, and we're going to see a bit of an all-in from the side of UC.
Oh my gosh, he with the flash silence. Oh, but look at top lane here. Punjabi with the crosshair onto Little Luck trying to spin their way out of it, but cannot. As Punjabi is going to even up the kill count there. And just like that, Comfy Gaming has a 1,500 gold lead.
Yeah, and really well played from Comfy Gaming to actually bring the gold lead back into their favor. We do see the Fiddlesticks is going to start up the Rift Herald off of that Bolo that he found onto that Wukong. And once they do get this, they do have about the same setup that they had topside in the other game, just reversed, because it was USC that had the top lane setup.
Chain of Corruptions lands with the Renata ultimate as well here. Jokage is going to find the first kill, first kill of the play, I guess. But wait a minute, as Punjabi has to flash away. Rift Herald secured by CGS, but not able to pick it up.
Yeah, the Wukong jumping in there means that the Fiddlesticks has to back away immediately or he just dies. So, I mean, that really sucks.
Ooh, Guatemalan forced to flash away. Is it enough? Oh, it's not enough. Guatemalan living at double-digit HP right there.
Yep, and really well played from the side of Skyo to force the Varus out there. He saw an opening and really went for it. But yeah, it really sucks for the Fiddlesticks to not be able to get that Rift Herald there, because he could have translated that Rift Herald into this first tower in the top lane for the Olaf and really get this guy accelerated. We did see yesterday from, I believe the player was Elsa the Queen, Elsa from Frozen, on his Olaf, and once he got accelerated, he just completely took over the game. So a little bit sad, but alas, it was taken away from the side of USC. So really well played from Comfy to know their limits here.
Absolutely. Next dragon of the game is the Cloud. So we're not going to be seeing that soul in this series so far. And I think with how the game is going right now, almost a 2,000 gold lead. Oh, wait a minute. As Joe Kage is stepping up really far forward, Chain of Corruption is going to connect. That's going to be a lot of damage onto He. He goes to about half HP. Does have the ultimate available, but look at mid. Soul trying to get a nice little trade, but good usage of that gravity field by Hextech and Ivy to repel that aggression. Oh, wait a minute. Looks like we might get some more scrapping here as both of these junglers made their way into this bottom side. Moonlight Vigil not yet available.
Yeah, and we do see the Fiddlesticks actually is the one with the item advantage of the two junglers. He has that full mythic completed, so there is going to be probably a pretty big scrap for this dragon. But my question to you, before this dragon does get taken by whichever team, is what is your bet for the soul of this game? I'm going to go with Chemtech.
I want to see Hextech just because I think that's the fun one. You know, more damage and slows and all that good stuff. But you know, Mountain would repeat history. So I don't know. I mean, I'm gonna go with Hextech, I think. So just because I want to see the damage, you know.
Right, well, fair enough. We will see once that dragon does inevitably drop. It looks like Comfy Gaming is really prioritizing it this time. They really want to go for it. We see that the Yone is walking up towards the Raptors to get his second Q off. So maybe look for an all-in onto this Victor. And we do see both ults come out. Oh, and they both live. Okay. So now both mid laners don't have ultis, and this Yone does get the opportunity to actually push.
Skyo with the Moonlight Vigil Infernum action. Guatemalan's going to be exhausted trying to find the damage to trade back, but cannot. 2 kills for 0 in favor of USC. But wait a minute, the Crow Storm is flying here. Skyo is going to get really low as he is dropping down as well here, but the Wish and the heal is enough to keep one of them alive as he will fall, and little luck will find the last hit onto Punjabi there. But wait a minute, look at the top lane here. Is only gonna find Oranhorn and the kill on this top side. So just action all over the map here, and when the dust settles, second dragon of the game going over to USC.
Yeah, and it's a little bit of a tragedy for the Fiddlesticks. I don't know if the replay is going to come through, but when the Crow Storm came out, he threw his E, I believe is what the button was.
Let's go.
And he missed the Soraka with not the Soraka, the Aphelios with his E, and it would have just killed him before the Soraka heal and the R both came through. So a little bit of a misplay on the side of Punjabi there, but yeah, I mean, nonetheless, it sucks a little bit, and we do see that we are getting that Hextech Soul, so you're getting exactly what you wanted, right, James?
The Hex Gates activate. Those are great words. I love seeing those on my screen, and so a lot of damage coming out here, and you know, again, this is kind of what we saw in game number 1, right, where USC has the gold lead. No, sorry, they have the kill lead, they have the objective lead, but they don't have the kills. I mean, the gold. Jeez, let me try that again. USC has the kills and the dragons, but they don't have the gold lead. There we go.
Yeah, and the main benefactor factor of that is that this Olaf got 4 plates in the top lane, and this Fiddle is farming up a Storm as well as this Olaf. So this Olaf and this Fiddlesticks are both accelerated pretty far ahead of their counterparts. I would say that the jungle's a little bit more even, but we do see the Cyclone come out.
Little luck, good use of the
Watermelon.
Oh, Guatemalan goes down here. Fight or die was not enough to keep the Varus alive, but look at Spy just hitting the tower. Oranhorn has been called. Knockup connects here. Spy's going to take a lot of damage from that tower, but listen, look at this Orange damage, man. Oh, Punjabi over the wall here with the Crow Storm under the tower. Only going is very tanky, though, so not going to be under too much threat here, but the tower is another story. Looks like CGS is going to be able to find this tower for the first tower of the game.
Yeah, and really well played from both sides. Using the Crow Storm does force the Ornn's HP to go down to about below half, and that is going to have to force him off of his turret, because if they do just both hit the turret, that Ornn will just die with all the feeders coming out.
Soul and Hextech and Ivy have been trading all game here. Look at the Fate Sealed connects a lot of damage as well here, as Hextech's going to pop that Ghost. Still, no kills. I mean, for the amount of times we've seen both of these ultimates traded and no kills, it's pretty crazy. These guys are so aggressive in the mid lane.
Yeah, and I think there is going to be a point where it is going to tip to one side, and my bet is on this Victor. He is getting some of his evolves coming through. I believe he does have his E-evolve right now. And his Q evolve should be coming in here soon. He is at 73 stacks, so we will see him get stronger and stronger as the game goes on, and it will be more favored.
Chain of Corruption goes wide, and you know that would have definitely threatened a lot on to only go in here with those Blight procs stacked. And Nashor's Tooth has been completed for Guatemala, so getting some of that AP stacking already. It's going to feel pretty nice for the Varus, along with that attack speed. Overall, first items completed for almost everyone. I think only going is going to... actually, I don't think so. But almost completing that mythic item. And then, obviously, Varus went for the Nashor's Tooth, so does not have the mythic item yet. But gold lead now a little bit under 1.5K. Still in favor. Whoa! The ultimate Crowstorm comes through on to the ghosts there. There is no one in that area of the map, and unfortunate for Comfy Gaming there. But look at this bottom lane play as Spy is running down the Victor. The axe goes wide as Anivia has to flash away. And for the time being, will live, but not for long, as Soul is here with the Fate Seal. This is the entire team. Where did they come from? As Comfy is going to be able to kill the USC mid laner. But look at this. The nice counterplay in this mid lane with the Herald being dropped. The first tower is going to go down, and I think the second tower will also fall.
Yeah, and we do see that a really good macro play from the side of USC to actually swing the gold back in their favor just a little bit. They are going to get that third charge, which means that tower is going to go very low, so it can die on the next push. And the next scrap we're going to see is probably for this Dragon, despite Victor being dead.
Absolutely. Hextech Dragon has spawned here. 5v5. All members are alive here, but the numbers are closer for Comfy Gaming. As of now, Hextech and Nivea still making their way back to this play. As the mid wave is being pushed by Skyo. Nice, you know, little bit of damage coming out onto Soul here. And we have now reached the 5v5 fight again. No Fate Sealed for now. All other ultis in the game are up. So, you know it's going to be an explosive one here as mid waves pushing towards CGS. So, that one did a good job by USC to set that play up, and Dragon started up now by Comfy. We'll see what they opt to go for here as Little Luck sitting over the wall. Can jump in at any time. Soul gonna go over, finding the knockouts on the Skyo. As the Crowstorm comes through, they're trying to find the enemy AD carry there as Spy is gonna take him out. Looking in the backline, Zoa is only trying to find the damage here, but the Dragon will be secured by Comfy Gaming. Nice usage of the Chain of Corruption. On the other side of the fight, though, Hextech and Nivea is going crazy, but a nice Fate Sealed comes through. Do they have the damage? No, as the double kill now follows from Hextech and Nivea. Guatemala gonna get put into the fight or die, but there is no fighting to be had. Jokage, the last member standing on this side of the map for Comfy Gaming, will fall, and the Dragon goes over. 4 kills in favor of USC.
Yeah, and we do see that Comfy Gaming did secure that Dragon with the Varus Q, I believe. So the main thing here is that in the middle of that fight, the Victor did get his Q evolve, and that actually ended up saving him from the Yone combo because he got the shield from the Q, as well as some move speed, so he was able to kite him out better. Otherwise, it would have been a trade kill, and Yone might have actually been able to save Guatemala way sooner. But since the Fiddlesticks did fall at the very beginning of the Crow Storm, I believe, or maybe it was the Olaf, he did get that extra sustainability and kiteability.
Oh, Joe Kage. Nice. Nice job with that Q there. For the time being. Oh, wait a minute. Look at Punjabi going on to Skyo. Will force out the Gale Force. No other sums for the time being, but the rest of USC is here to defend their AD carry. 4v1. Punjabi is going to fall.
Yeah, and I would have liked to see Only go and not take that kill there. I think it probably should have went over to the Thelos, but it's not a big deal. They defended their AD carry, and that's what really matters. And now they will shove down and get this tower. And we see the engage from the Wukong with the Cyclone, but nothing is going to happen off of it.
Yeah, Baron, though, going to be started up by USC, and they are feeling themselves this game here. However, the gold is still even. I'm just like, no matter what we do, the gold is just even in this game. And Baron started up, about 7k HP left. Wish me luck.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is the Olaf actually does have TP here, and the Ornn does not. So if USC keeps going, they are just going to die off of the Olaf TP. So they elect to back out. I'm assuming that's what the call was. They probably called that the Olaf was able to TP to this, and they just backed off and didn't risk it.
Yep, absolutely smart plays there by USC. You don't want to give up a big fight, especially when the game is so close here, but we are going to get a pause as looking like we're running through some technical difficulties here for USC.
Yeah, and I guess while we're in this pause, I'd like to ask you what you think the next steps are for USC specifically, because I actually think Comfy Gaming is in the driver's seat right now. They have been able to get the last dragon, and they've actually pushed them off of the Baron 4v5, essentially, or 3v5, sorry, or 3v4. So what do you think that USC actually has to do in order to get this lead back and get their reins on this game in order to go to game 3?
I think USC has been doing a pretty good job in the recent fights. I mean, they're winning the fights. They're being able to at least, threaten objectives because off of the back of one fights. They have a very, very strong Victor right now, sitting at 2-1-0. Has the Leandries completed here and the shutdown to their name here, and especially with Wukong. Little Luck is really strong on this Wukong as well here. So Divine Sunder, the enchanted or the Ornn items are coming in soon. So I think the biggest thing for USC is to be able to find the backline of Comfy and take out the backline, right? And because you have Ornn, you have Wukong who's able to dive in very effectively. And with Wukong this ahead, the damage is there. You're going to be able to kill the backline.
Yeah, and I actually really agree with this analysis. I would like to see from the Wukong specifically a Styx gauge, just so that he has a little bit more tankiness on his third item, so that he can play these front to back fights a lot easier. But we do see that the game is about to come back through, and we are going to get a little bit of a stutter/pause due to spectate. But it will fix itself. Not to worry. It's a normal thing with the League client, small indie company.
Yeah, it's always fun when we got to go through these bugs. But at least we're doing it together. At least we're all on the same page here. So get a little bit of a pause because of the pause, but we'll get back to the action shortly here as 2 minutes until this next dragon spawns here, and Baron is up and live. We've already seen some plays around this top half of the map, so I assume that we won't get too much action until this next dragon spawns, just because of how this game is going, right? A potential soul point for USC. And for the time being, I mean, gold lead's still in favor of Comfy, like we talked about earlier, and I think that this Varus eventually is going to start hitting like a truck once these items come in.
Yeah, and once he hits the 2 or 3 item mark, I'm specifically looking at the second item because on the side of USC they aren't too tanky. Once he hits this Rift Maker, he is going to start chunking with that 3 Blight Q. And it will be able to one-shot champions like the Soraka and the Aphelios if he does get the opportunity. So it will be interesting to see how USC ends up dealing with that, because this Varus build is pretty much uncounterable. If he catches you out, you are dead. There is no amount of HP, armor, magic resist, damage reduction that will stop him from doing it to you. The only thing you can really do is pray that you don't get hit by the chains of corruption so that you don't die.
Yeah, unfortunately, I mean, unfortunately for Comfy, right, their Varus has been set really far behind, and still needs a while in order to get to that level. But Riftmaker has been completed here. Now both of these AD carriers sitting at 2 items with their completed boots. So at least for now, even on gold. But we know that there is a pretty big advantage in favor of Skyo right now. To be exact, 1.3k. So
yeah, and Skyo does have about a BF sword of gold ahead, and we do see the Crow Storm coming through, and the TPs are also coming through from both top laners.
Huge fight coming in here. Now is Soul looking for the Fate Seal in the backline, not going to connect onto Hextech and Nivea, but Spy is going to get rooted up for the time being. Comes flying back as Little Luck spinning with the Cyclone. Ornhorn will be called, and Guatemelon is the casualty there. 4v4 still on the map. Is only going is full HP. Not going to find the knockups there, as the rest of Comfy Gaming is kiting out very, very well. Little Luck going to go over the wall trying to find Spy with the damage here, and Spy should fall. Going to get the fight or die. And Little Luck will flash over the wall, so no resets there, but a 400 gold shutdown going over to Hextech and Nivea, and the Dragon is going to be secured by USC. This is their sole point.
Yeah, and the interesting thing is here, with this fight going so far in favor of USC, is that they are still somehow down 2k in gold. So it's just the farm from the top and mid, and as well as the jungle, that is really making up this deficit. They really have to pray that this Yone gets his IE and the Varus has his 3rd item for this next dragon. And they really need to start funneling the gold into these 2 carriers if they do want to actually win this game, because despite having the gold lead, this fight was really one-sided. And I don't know if it was just a byproduct of them getting caught with their pants down or not.
Yeah, I mean, and think about how this fight started, right? It started with a pick by Comfy Gaming. It was a 4v5 fight in favor of Comfy Gaming there, and they still lost the fight because of only going's work in the back half. But nice change to corruption here. We'll see if Skyo falls down. No, instead we'll just burn that flash to get out. But 2 crucial ultimates burned there by Comfy Gaming means that, oh my goodness, Little Luck aggressive forward onto Joe Kage. But look at Soul in the backline trying to find Hextech and Nivea, but instead we'll just go back to that shadow. And I don't know how this gold lead is still in favor of Comfy Gaming, because this is all USC.
Yeah, USC has now doubled their kill lead, and the main thing that we're finding here is that Comfy Gaming's carries just cannot deal damage because they just don't have the items to. Like, they find the big chains of corruption from the Varus onto the Aphelios, and they maybe take about 10-15% of his HP. But we do see all of the ultis being expended here, and the Aphelios is going to go down to the Crow Storm, and the chains of corruption come out.
Chains of Corruption come out as the shutdown goes over to Guatemelon. That's a big one, too. That's 800 gold in the pockets of this Varus, who has been really struggling to find any sort of gold in this game. And 2 for 2 is going to feel good for Comfy Gaming, especially because it feels like they've been losing all of these team fights.
Yeah, they 2 for 2 get the big old shutdown, and they get that turret in the mid lane as well. So this Varus is now probably even on gold with this lane counter, but yeah, he's only about 500 gold behind now, and he's probably going to base and buy a large rod, I presume. He's going to buy both of them, so he's on the fast track for that death cab, and he is going to start blowing people up. As you see, he just gets blown up by the Ragnarok Olaf, and he is just going to keep going.
Spy is going crazy, continuing forward, trying to find Hextech and Nivea, but whoa! Stopwatch burn there, just for good measure. And Ghost as well. But yeah, good work by Spy there, finding the 1 kill and forcing a lot from the rest of the members here. Look at Little Luck. Looking forward onto Soul. Cyclone's going to be used. That's a lot of damage coming through. Wait, why did you press E?
Why did you press E?
I don't
know why you pressed E.
Comes through. And now Jokage running for the hills. Ornhorn is sounded. Nice usage of the Renata ultimate, but I don't think it's enough to get you out of that play. A double kill comes through for Little Luck, and now USC turns to Baron.
Yeah, and the Baron should pretty much just be free, assuming that the Fiddle and the Varus don't find 2 big old ulti layers on top of each other. But the problem is that the Varus just does not have the Chains of Corruption right now. So this Fiddlesticks needs to get into position to get this Crowstorm round, and he does. Let's see if he ends up stealing it. He gets it! He gets the steal! He gets it!
Punjabi steals the Baron, and now Spy is running rampant in the backline trying to find the damage, but cannot as Hextech and Nivea goes on a rampage, but the Baron is stolen by Punjabi, and the game still is alive, and the gold is still in favor of Comfy.
Yeah, and really, really good smite timing on Punjabi there. The problem that they're going to run into now is they're going to be slightly late to this dragon to contest for the soul, but I mean, that's not a big deal. I mean, you're trading your life to stay alive in this game, really. If they get that Baron, the gold lead is gone for your team. So really, really well played from Punjabi to get that smite timing.
Crucially, no wards from anyone on this bottom side river at all here. You can see Comfy first 2 of this bottom side, and all of the members besides Spy have respawned. Dragon spawning in 10 seconds here, but USC are not happy to just let this one go. They are contesting. This is their soul after all here as Little Luck. Gonna go forward. Crowstorm comes out. He is the target. He is gonna get taken very, very low and will go down as now Punjabi has to run for the hills. Fight or die. Hostile takeover is huge, and I think this is where Spy runs over the back lines here as 1 kill's gonna come down. Soul fighting Little Luck on the side as the Chain of Corruption used to help out as well as the shutdown comes through onto Guatemala. That's the second one they have picked up in these recent fights here as the Dragon will go over to Comfy Gaming and the team fight win.
Yeah, and the soul is denied for the next 5 minutes, which gives Comfy Gaming even more time to get this Varus and this Yoni the gold that they need in order to carry these fights, and this Varus is so online now. I don't know if you noticed in this fight, but he probably did about 2,000 damage just in 1 combo, and he got 2 of those combos out. So it'll be interesting to see how the rest of these fights end up going once he does get the voice staff. I believe should be his next item, and this might just be a dead Ornn with the flash. Oh, you missed the empower Q. If you got that empowered Q, I think that Ornn is one of
He might have died, yeah. I think he might have died.
So
Watermelon.
Yeah, they got 5 more minutes for their scaling to come through on the side of Comfy Gaming, which is exactly what they want.
Yeah, and still about 1,000 gold in the inventory for Guatemala to base and buy with, and I think that's a Shadow Flame coming next or a Rylize. I don't know. I guess it could be a few different things, but either way, Varus is online, has the 3 items completed with that Rabadons now, and the AD carries the gold right now is even. They have caught up. Actually, Guatemalan's ahead by about 80, so a big turnaround here from Comfy Gaming, and now sitting in the driver's seat even further than they were before, despite, some of those team fight losses.
Yeah, and we do actually see that the Amp Tome and the Ruby Crystal do come through. That is a big indication that it is probably Shadow Flame. I do believe that Varus does not go Rylize in this build. We do see the Cyclone coming out, and then we see the Moonlight Vigil as well layered on top of it, and then we see the Yone R comes through, and then the Ornn gets called, and nobody is going to die, even though the chance of every single ulti is blown, and that will just be everybody walking away after burning our R buttons.
No, I mean, just almost every ultimate in the game used theirs. And 6 ultis out of the 10 and no casualties is crazy. But crucially, you know, I saw in that play, he picked up the McHale's. So gonna be able to get one person out of the chain of corruption and hopefully keep them alive for a little bit longer, just because, you know, at this point, Guatemala is starting to get very, very strong here. And like we mentioned already, one of those empowered Qs can mean death.
Yeah, and I mean, luckily everybody was able to get out of the way of all of the really, really important ultimates that just happened. But we do have Baron spawning in about a minute 35. As we see a little bit of an engagement possibly about to happen on the bot side, but now we see the Wukong going from bot to the mid lane, and we might see an engagement here, but Comfy Gaming is just going to run up towards the top side. So the next fight that we should be seeing, assuming that no Animal Kingdom breaks out here in the NA RAM, is that the Baron fight should happen on Baron spawn, essentially. We should be seeing a fight over Vision, and then most likely a 5v5 team fight for that Baron, maybe some TPs. That should be that.
All of the members of Comfy on this top side, besides Soul right now. You can see the rest of USC trying to match this. As you can see, a lot of pressure is being put here, but that leaves Soul free time to push. So for Comfy Gaming right now, you cannot get caught 4v5. This is essential here, because that'll give away Baron, as well as now the Ornhorn being called. Gonna get knocked up onto one as Crowstorm coming back. Oh, but look at Little Luck. They found Guatemala, and Guatemala is down. That's a key member of Comfy Gaming dead, and the Baron spawning in 30 seconds means that Soul and the rest of Comfy Gaming cannot make any proactive plays here. Soul is going to be on this bottom side trying to push the towers, but only has recalled and is going to be able to defend that effortlessly.
Yeah, and the thing that Comfy Gaming actually has to do here is they have to look to stall this Baron out so that Yone can go and solo that X-Tech Dragon that is spawning. Because the thing is here is that you do not have an AD carry for the next 15 seconds. So if you're able to stall it until the AD carry at least gets here, or until that dragon spawns, you either get a trade or you just straight up get the defense or a 5v5 fight for this Baron. So hopefully they are able to stall it until Guatemala is back alive. He is spawning now, and he does have the Hex Gates to get there, so they should be able to get to whichever objective they want to play for just in time.
Absolutely here. Spy has that TP, so it's going to reset. Dragon spawning in 5 seconds. Everyone is down in this bottom side river for this play. Chain of Corruptions lands onto he, but nice usage of the McHale's as Crowstorm going in. He is down immediately. Punjabi gonna go golden for the time being. As look at the hostile takeover in the backline. Look is trying to deal all the damage, flashing forward with the Cyclone, spinning, finding a double kill for themselves here, as though the triple kill comes through. Spy gonna go down as well. Soul, the last member for Comfy Gaming standing, but it is not enough, as 4 members strong for USC are going to be hitting this Hextech Soul.
Yeah, and this should be the Soul for USC. I don't imagine that Yone can really do anything to stop them from doing this, and they should just get the Soul and run straight to this Baron and just try and flip it. They have a ton of time, and the only TP that is available is this Yone. So the Baron should be free also, and we're gonna see the gold swing go into go for USC for I guess the second time this game, because they did have a 400 gold lead at the beginning of this game pre 10 minutes.
Baron will be secured by USC. They will be wearing purple for about 3 minutes, and you know, the gold lead, like you said, actually still not even in their favor, even after the Baron. Still 200 in favor of Comfy there, but the execution of the team fights from USC has been much better. It's been much higher level than Comfy. They've just been outplaying them this game.
Yeah, and the main thing that we're going to see next is how Comfy Gaming actually figures out how to win these team fights from here on out. Because now Aphelios does have that GA coming through, but he is actually pretty weak with the pen item he chose.
Watermelon going forward, but look at Punjabi just in the middle of the whole team. You're diving too deep. As now Oli gonna slam his head into the wall, not gonna find the knock upstairs. Soul TPs into the play. 4v5 in favor of USC as they are wearing Baron, escorting this minion wave down the mid lane. Guatemala really, really low, has to reset here as inhibitor tower will fall. Inhibitor will fall shortly after. It looks like USC want to try to make this push to end the game here. Still 30 seconds on the enemy jungler. Spy fronting, stepping forward. One Nexus tower has fallen. Knockup is on to 2 with the Moonlight Vigil is huge. Skyo finds one in the back line as Fate Seal trying to find any damage for CGS. But USC is going to take the game and force a game 3.
Yeah, and the problem that I think the side of Homie Gaming is having this game is that this Yone felt incredibly useless. He wasn't really doing any damage. Even in the post game, we see that he only has about 17,500 gold damage. Sorry, and it's just tough because everybody else aside from this Ornn, who's obviously a tank, is just doing double his damage. So maybe this pick isn't super practiced by the side of Soul, but I'd like to see a little bit more comfort coming out from the side of Comfy Gaming's mid laner next draft. I'm not too sure if he has a ton of games on this Yone champ, but obviously it didn't work out this game, so maybe we pick something a little bit different next game.
Yeah, absolutely. And I mean, it was a good game, and USC proving us wrong. I mean, taking game number 2 in commanding fashion. They were dominating most of the team fights for the entire back half of that game. So, USC forces a game 3. We're going to take a short break, but we'll be back for the champion select shortly. Don't go anywhere. and we are back for the pick and the ban of game number 3 between Comfy Gaming and USC JV. We are underway in the draft, and this is the deciding match. Sutekh, what are you feeling for this game?
I'm feeling a change of bands or picks somewhere. Please do something different with this band phase. There needs to be at least a little
Oh,
bit of
Wukong.
adapting, and the Wukong is banned. Finally, we will not see the Wukong here, even though it is sad because I am also a Wukong abuser. It's nice to see a little bit, at least a little bit of change in the jungle. So we are going to see at least one different champion from the jungle, and not this Wukong again for the third game. So what I'm expecting to come out now, since J4 and Wukong are both banned, is I would love to see a Hecarim or a Zyarakan in this game. Please. These champions are so good, and almost nobody picks them unless they have the ultra counter pick. So please, please pick these champions.
Yeah, I think, I mean, I would not be surprised if Comfy went back to Caitlyn B1, but instead they go with Gnar, which is
Yeah,
a little bit confusing.
think it's a little bit weird to pick your top on one, but maybe he just thinks that the spy just thinks that his lane doesn't exactly matter too much, and he's sandbagging it in order to get his team a little bit more information in the draft, or maybe he just thinks the opposing top laner doesn't have any answer into it, and we are going to see the Varus come out from the red side once again, but this time it is going to USC since they have chosen red. And I assume that we are probably going to see the answer to the top lane on this pick from red side. And it's going to change the way that draft is played a little bit because we'll probably see jungle on 3 and support on 4 with mid counter pick on 5 from red team, assuming they pick top here.
Yeah, this kind of it's at least the same angle or plan of attack that they went with in game number 2 here. Yeah, they go. Ornn has been locked in for only going, and he looked really, I mean, he yeah, he had some struggles in the lane, of course, facing off against the Olaf in the early laning phase, but Ornhorns were on point as we moved later into the game, and I do like the Ornn pick for only going. Um, However, he's gonna be up against Gnar, who can harass you very easily in
Oh
the
my god,
lane
we see
and can be
Karthus.
annoying. Ooh,
I love this
okay.
pick. I love this pick. Okay, so the main thing about this pick, it was actually played against me recently in a scrim. The main thing about this pick is you are just power farming until you hit level 11, and then once you hit level 11 and you're about 2 items, you kind of just explode the enemy team, and you just on your ganks. You're mainly just looking for freebies around the map, and it's entered by Echo, which I don't think is really the most amazing champion at answering this Karthus, assuming that the Karthus almost always has the exhaust button up, which he should, because he does take inspiration in his runes. So I really love this pickup from the side of Comfy Gaming, and if this Echo is the jungle, it is an okay pick into this Karthus, but it's a terrible answer into things like Tristana and Gnar that can just stun it or push it away and stop the engage entirely.
Absolutely here. Blitzcrank and Renata taking off the table. Both champions that we've seen in previous games. So I definitely like the adaptation there. And, I didn't think Renata was too big of an issue. But, pairing up with Varus, if you're not going AP, I think it makes more of an issue. Especially if you go on hit Varus. But nonetheless, Lulu and Nautilus taken off the table as well here. So again, probably see a support pick in
I'm
red
expecting to
4.
see Karma on R4 with maybe an Alistar answer on blue 4 for the side of Comfy. I think Karma is probably the best thing you could pick here. I mean, beyond that, you could pick Thresh and Flea. Oh, well, we
Ooh.
do see the Ashe coming through, so they just want to play full lane prio with this push. This is a pick that I wasn't exactly thinking about, but yeah, this is a fine pick, and we do see the Thresh come out. Again, I would have still liked to have seen the Alistar just to hard engage on top of these two champions, and your R does get rid of the CC from the two Rs that these champions on the side of USC do pull out. But we do see the Azir again, this Fest champion that everybody loves seeing in the mid lane, and we're probably going to see some form of control mage pick in response, I would assume. I don't imagine that we pick Silas or anything too crazy here, but we could.
Yeah, I mean, Silas has some good ultis here with the Gnar, with the Karthus ulti as well. So, and even Emperor's Divide is really nice to use. But yeah, Victor, just gonna have a pretty standard control mage matchup here, and both of these mid laners are gonna try and scale up. A bit different than what we saw last game, where Soul was constantly aggressing.
Yeah, and the main thing we're gonna see here, from the side of Comfy Gaming, is the scaling has moved from the AD carry position into the jungle, and the proactiveness has also moved to the side of the AD carry and the support, and moved away from the jungle. So I'm really looking at Comfy Gaming's bot lane to really get themselves this lead, and be able to play off of tracking this Echo. And if they're able to do that, they have a pretty good chance of just straight up winning this bot lane at level 2, level 3. Assuming that the all-in goes well, obviously Ashe and Varus are both going to be poking you up until that level 2 mark. But they just have a very good chance of finding a good engagement, especially if you manage to land that Thresh hook, and that just on a jump plus bomb.
Yeah, and with this bottom lane for Comfy Gaming, a lot of damage can come very quickly. You have to be careful. If you're USC, getting hit by the hook at all can spell death. So I'm really interested to see how USC is going to play this lane, and if they're able to play the lane, use their advantage, which they have with the double range, they can completely take over in the lane. And you know, so I think a lot of the proactiveness is going to be on them. Can you avoid the engagements from the Thresh and the Tristana? And can you trade effectively? Because Tristana early game is short range, right? And Ashe and Varus should be able to abuse her pretty effectively in the first 3 levels before she has her full combo in. And I assume Comfy will try and look for something at level 3.
Yeah, and I agree with that analysis. I think that Tristana does have a little bit of a window as long as she has a little bit over 70% HP at level 2 when she does have an opportunity to jump in. But I do think that this game, the longer it goes, is actually favored towards Comfy Gaming. They do have a ton of range advantage, and they do have this Karthus coming in. And this Karthus is a massive scaler. I would even argue that he outscales Echo and the Varus combined. The main question for the side of USC is, can they find a big enough engagement with the Ashe Varus plus Ornn combo in order to stun the Karthus getting a big ulti off after a 4v5 or a 5v5 fight happens?
That is going to be the question here. We are rounding out this draft here. And we did it last game. But I'll ask you the question first this time. Who you got for this one?
I'm gonna put my money on Comfy Gaming for this one. I really like this comp. I really like how creative it is. Although I don't agree with some of the picks in the order they were picked in the draft, I think that they have an easier time the longer the game goes, and these games have been pretty long so far. So I would like to give the edge over to Comfy Gaming for this one.
All right. Well, I'm gonna take USC just because they proved me wrong last game in a game that I thought was completely unlosable for Comfy. But USC, proved me wrong. I'm gonna rock with them for game 3. I think they're gonna take it. Get your guys' votes in the poll, and we're gonna take a short break. But we will be back for the deciding game of this series between Comfy Gaming Shield and USC JV. we are back onto the Rift for the deciding game between Comfy Gaming Shield and USC JV. And for USC, I mean, this is uncharted territories here. They have not played in a 3-game set all season, if I recall correctly.
Yep, you are correct. This is their first third game of the season. They did 2-0 their last two series, and we are going to see another little cheeky invade, just like it's been happening all series from both teams. And we're going to see Cards try and get a couple of Qs here, but he is someone who's going to get inevitably poked out, and that will be that. Everybody will back away after getting some wards, and we're all basing.
40 gold though to he on the Ashe, so you know, gold lead in USC's favor right now.
Yep, I do believe that USC has officially won the game off of that.
Game's over. Let's back it up. Let's do our interview. Well, junglers starting on their top side of the map here, and for the time being, you know, wanna influence that bottom lane, and I do expect that the bottom lane, we've seen it a lot this entire series, but bottom lane is going to be where a lot of that action is going down.
Yeah, and specifically with the Tristana and the Thresh, I'm expecting to see a lot more action just in the 2v2 alone, not even just the jungle presence. I'm expecting this 2v2 to be nice and bloody, as we see big trades already happening. Woo! And now Guatemalan is going to be forced off of this wave, and he's not going to get level 2 to get that opportunity that I was talking about within the draft to get that jump in. So that's already been stunted from the side of USC.
Oh, another hook lands. He take it pretty low, but yeah, since there's not level 2, I mean, if they were level 2, he was dead for sure, but no level 2 active yet, and instead, you know, no casualties in bottom lane. One thing I noticed, Guatemalan went Q first on Tristana in this game.
Yeah, and I was just about to mention that. It's a little weird to me. I think going Q here actually stops you from getting that early push that I was talking about, because you just lose out on the passive on the E. And also you obviously want to take W level 2 in this matchup, so that might be a little bit of a problem. But we see Spy jump in onto this Ornn after going Mega, and we just see them duking it out up here.
A little bit of trading back and forth here. Most of the time, it's going to favor Spy, just trying to get this wave shoved in here back into Mini, and gonna be back to being an annoying little pest on this Mini Gnar.
Yep, and the Minior is where Spy is going to be able to deal most of his trade damage. Since he does have that ranged advantage, he is going to be able to poke out this Ornn a lot. But as long as the Ornn doesn't take trades that are too long, he's not going to lose all of his HP, because he does have that D shield. And I'm assuming he also took second wind in secondaries as well. So it will be pretty much an even lane. Ornn will be able to scale up. And we do see the Thresh flashing on top of the Ashe here, and he misses the hook, but the jump comes through. This might just be a dead he. The barrier comes through, the Ignite comes through, and first blood goes over to Varus. And unfortunately, Jokage did take that kill from his AD carry with the Ignite.
Ooh, and a nice flash play in this mid lane here as the exhaust comes down from Kajabi. Hextech really low HP here. The soldier's flying in, but not enough damage to take him down. As Little Luck trying to find Soul on the backside of the play. Nice flash. Do they have the damage? Oh, it's a tilter. As Little Luck falls, and in the bottom side as well, Guatemalan gets a kill onto Skyo there.
Yeah, and that's just
oh, Spy!
Spy gets another kill as well, and it's just a tragedy across the map for USC. Yeah, I mean, that's really unfortunate the Echo went as hard as he did. I think once his Victor flashes away, you have to just try and back out there. But yeah, Spy getting the solo kill there as well is really, really good, and Tristana managed to pick up a kill somewhere in that kerfuffle as well. So Comfy Gaming is coming out guns blazing in this game 3.
Absolutely, already off to almost a 1,000 gold lead just over 5 minutes into this game for Dragon. Gonna be that Chemtech, which I think we're seeing for the first time this game or
Yeah,
for this
I think
series.
that was this is the first Chemtech Dragon of the series. I don't remember if there was one in game one, but yeah, I really enjoy early Chemtech, especially for if I'm playing something like Kane or the Wukong, just because it gives you that little extra sustain on your Conquer healing. But I don't see it being
Ooh.
too useful this game for either team. Nobody really has too much healing. And we just see Echo down here and a big trade coming out, but I don't think anything
Ooh.
is gonna happen. Just two big chunks on both lanes with Comfy getting the better end of the trade.
Yeah, Guatemalan doing so much damage here, and now Punjabi is here doing a lot of damage onto Skya. One more Q should be enough. Instead, the hook's gonna land. They turn their sights onto Little Luck. Nice flay. So they can't get over the wall, and Punjabi's gonna find another killer. But look at Guatemala jumping in with the rocket jump. Requiem's gonna come over the top. I don't know if it's gonna get any kills. No, as Skya lives with just a little bit of HP. Guatemalan with the flash over the wall. Hey!
And he gets it, he gets it, he gets it. The Bears gets the shutdown, and maybe Guatemalan was not really thinking with his noggin there because he did have a shutdown, so the gold is actually in favor of the Bears on their trade, and he is up 20 CS, so
Wow.
I would just let the Bears walk away there, but he was T-posing on him, asserting his dominance in this lane.
Yeah, definitely a really aggressive play from Guatemalan there. And I don't know, was it a shutdown? Did he give? Yeah, give shutdown over to the Varus. So now Varus, despite all things, gold is still even. But oh, he could be in trouble here. Hook goes a bit wide, so he is all right for the time being. But all things considered, gold even between 80 carries in that bottom lane. And uh-oh, Vi has to be careful here. He doesn't know that Little Luck is here. Ornhorn sounded, goes wide, as now Spy trying to take this 1v2, finds a nice two-man stun as Little Luck is taken pretty low. Rock not gonna find it, but now gonna go mini again and will fall, but
He
gets
trades.
the trade.
He trades.
So actually really good there from Comfy Gaming to be able to get that trade kill back, because now Punjabi can just push this wave out and, okay, maybe not, I guess, but playing this bottom lane here is Jokage.
It's gonna be he.
Jokage is just insane on these hook champions. Punjabi and only going at it right now. Knockup's not gonna land. And Punjabi is gonna get a
Punjabi's just gonna
wave.
grab that wave. He's just gonna try and freeze that wave for his top laner as Sonar walks back. But we are probably going to see the Karthus run straight to this Rift Herald because he should know that Echo is bot side. So I would just start this up immediately. And I think that is what he's doing on the map right now. The camera is panned onto the mid and now bot lane. So yeah, and we do see Echo making his way towards bot because they are super pushed in. But I do believe that Guatemalan does have his W up, and he does buffer it just in time.
Ooh, nice disengage there from Comfy Gaming's bottom lane there. Almost finding the kill and the burst damage onto Little Luck there. I noted, I went over this in the games that I was watching or I was casting on Wednesday, but a lot of Echoes, what they'll do is they'll hold the ult level so that it doesn't show that they have ult, and then use it at the last second to like bait people in once they hit 6. And I noticed that Little Luck was doing that in that play. Actually leveled up ulti right at the end there, right when he was low, and was able to use that ult to get, actually didn't need to use it, but had it just in case.
Yeah, and that's just one little mechanic that a lot of people who play a lot of Echo actually do. I don't find myself doing that personally because I don't play all too much Echo, so I'd rather just have the point in there just in case I'm not fast enough with that reaction time. But alas, we do see the Ash Arrow come through, the Echo W comes down, everything is dodged by Soul, and he is just out of there. So the Karthus did end up getting that Rift Herald off of the top side play. He is up about 6 to 8 camps, if I'm doing my math correctly. And he should be finishing his full clear now. He's up about a full level, and he should be looking for this dragon here since enemy bot lane is on reset. So first Herald and first dragon are going over to Comfy, and the Karthus R is coming down just to make sure he's getting his first strike gold out as much as possible.
Yep, big Karthus ultis coming out there, and that's just so annoying to have to deal with if you're, playing a lane, especially Say, for example, if you're Hextech and Nivea, who's already getting poked out by Soul in this bottom lane, having to deal with that Requiem over the top, just making things a little bit more annoying. Is now Guatemalan going to look for Skyo here. Chain of Corruption is going to be used. Nice cleanse. Big damage coming through, and Skyo finds the kill and the shutdown, but the minions take him down at the off the back end. So 1 for 1 so far as Spy goes in. Not going to find the stun, but will get knocked up by only going, and damage traded back. It's about an even trade, all things considered.
Yeah, and
Little
we
Luck?
do see that Little Luck is going to get like caught out a little bit here. The Q goes wide and the Flay goes wide from the Thresh, so he is just going to have to back away. The Astro does come through. The Ornhorn is called, and I do believe that it could be Spy getting a solo kill
Flash!
here. The Ornn Flash, and it's a trade kill from both.
We've seen a lot of trade kills, 1v1s. It's like in a boxing match when you knock each other out at the same time and stuff. We've seen that a lot this game, and we're only 11 minutes in, so definitely making things interesting in this early game. But when the dust settles, 2,300 gold lead for Comfy Gaming, and they have the Dragon and the Herald.
Yeah, and Karthus is on his way to scaling. He should be hitting level 9 off of these wolves, I believe. If he doesn't, he definitely should be hitting them off of the Raptor camp. He does roll over to 9 on these wolves. He's going to go and probably kill He. Oh, no, that's He's Flash, and Sky's just going to get a solo bolo here. With a little bit of help from the Ashe baiting him in. Karthus is going to go for this crab, and then he could look for this mid lane gank, but I think that Victor has a vague idea, so Karthus is actually looking for this red buff, and he's backing away immediately, because he doesn't know where the Echo exactly is, so really well called out from the Karthus here. And the pings are coming down top side, so maybe Karthus is looking for top gank right now.
Yeah, dive could definitely be possible here with the Ornhorn not being up, but Enchanted Crystal Arrow lands in the mid lane. Soul just CC'd for an eternity there and is going to go down. Herald spawned in this top lane, though, as Comfy trying to respond somewhere else on the map. It's got about 2 plates left with this Demolish Puck. Gonna be pretty good. Tower should fall here, I think. One more auto should do it. There we go. As now Spy is caught in a rough situation here. The rest of USC is chasing down Little Luck. Gonna go in with that phase dive, and Punjabi doing so much damage on the kite back. Chrono Break is available there. Nice stun comes out as now Punjabi could be in trouble. Gonna go down as a Chrono Break will get Little Luck his HP back. Requiem gonna come out over the top, see if there's any damage to come through. A Spy about to go mega again. Does he have it? Yes, he does. He's gonna find Heat on the backside. And yeah, and Little Luck falls as well to the Karthus damage. So 2 for 1 there in favor of Comfy Gaming. And look at this bottom side too. Guatemalan gonna be able to pick up some more plates as well as that top tower that went down.
Yeah, the top tower went down, so even though it's a 2 for 1, it's really in the favor of Comfy Gaming. And the bot lane tower plate going over to this Tristana and this Thresh is going to make this lane even harder for the Varus to find stuff in. They're going to get another one, and we did see that the Enchanted Crystal and Arrow does come down, and those are the chains of the Corruption coming down as well. I believe it missed entirely. I could be incorrect, but I think Tristana just barely jumped out of the way. Oh! And the Flash does come through from the Thresh. He flays, he hits the Q, and they just blow him up with the full Tristana combo, and they're out of there.
Jokage again, finding the hook, finding the kill. And this is an 8-death bottom lane at 14 minutes. Oh my. Oh, another one? Oh yeah, what does DJ Khaled say? Another one. Oh, wait a minute. He fighting back? Okay, there we go.
2v1.
There we go. 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 Dragon spawning in 45. And it's Ocean.
I'm expecting, I'm expecting the Karthus to really play for this this Ocean Dragon coming up. He wants to get these dragons stacked as much as possible. He already got that first one, so he gave himself about 5 more minutes to scale up. But his team is pretty much all online except for this Azir. So assuming they get this mid push in, Dragon should be pretty free. There might still be a fight for it, but I think it's still in the favor of Comfy Shield.
Yeah, definitely. They have a 4,500 gold lead right now at 15 minutes. I mean, that is a crazy gold lead. But Dragon Spawning, like you said, they should have the inside track and the priority to go for it. So it shouldn't be a problem there. But look at Little Luck on the top side, taking that Rift Herald away. Dragon hasn't even been started yet by Comfy Gaming. So Herald is going to be presumably for free until, yeah, there you go. Started up now. So Neutral's just going to be traded across the map.
Yeah, and I think this is a neutral trade in favor of Comfy Gaming. Obviously, they are playing for this Dragon Soul. They are mostly a late game comp. The Tristana scales really well into the late game, and Karthus is the most scaling champion in this game, and at least in my opinion. So really, really good on them to get these first 2 dragons. So even if the game does go awry here in this mid game, they do still get an extra 10 minutes to make it to their scaling points if need be.
2 dragons to 0 in favor of CGS right now. Feeling good about themselves here with that 5k gold advantage. And now Skyo using that Chain of Corruption, but a nice cleanse comes through, and that is just so much damage from Tristana, as Only Going has made their way in, but they've just made their way in to die. 1v3 using that flash, and Cheddar Arrow is going to land, but I don't think it's going to do much here, as Guatemalan will go on a killing spree, jumping back in, trying to find the damage onto he as the flash coming through. One more auto, and the explosion should be enough, as it is, as Guatemalan's going to fall out, going too deep there. Little Luck going to find 1 kill on the backside and make it a double, as now going to get hooked. Jokage again finding the hooks on the important members, as now Hextech and Nivea trying to clear this way.
Flash over this wall and look for this hook.
Oh yeah, definitely can do it here. Hook lands again. This is not normal. Check his computer.
He needs to go check this man's computer, man. He has not missed yet, man. He has landed all of the most crucial arrows in this game, and Jokage is going crazy. He's letting it be known that you have to ban every single hook champion in the game against him, and until you do, he's just gonna keep hooking all of your carries.
Spy flashes into the Enchanted Crystal Arrow, but it doesn't even matter.
It's the kill.
He's gonna kill he as well. Oh, never mind. No, that's a nice Gnar, but yeah, it doesn't. I don't think it matters. Little Luck should be able to clear that one out there and get that big shutdown. 450 gold into the Echo's pockets.
Yeah, and the main concern I have here for Comfy Gaming is this Echo is getting pretty big in terms of kills here, and he does have this Rift Herald, so he can get a objective bounty on one of these turrets if need be. The main thing I'm worried about though is since the Echo is getting so big, he does have the opportunity to actually kill these squishies, and he should just be dead off of this bomb popping, and the red buff is going to go over to Guatemalan as well as the kill here, and they're going to look on this Ashe as well.
He is dead too? Oh no, using the flash to get to safety there. Oh no, Ashe is dead.
He's dead. He's dead.
23 kills to 12 in favor of Comfy Gaming here. The gold lead is almost 10,000. And we're not even at 18 minutes.
Yeah, and I think it's only going to get worse from here, right? Because I do believe that in Champions Select, we both kind of agreed that on the side of Comfy Gaming, they do have the better scaling with this Karthus, with this Azir. So it's only going to get worse from here the longer that this game goes, since they already do have that 10k gold lead. And we do see Little Luck looking for a possible flank engage here. Here comes a Crystalline Arrow, and he finds the stun on Jokage, and then the Chains of Corruption does come through. Little Luck's gonna press R, and then Guatemalan is gonna be the only one that ends up falling in this fight.
Wow. I mean, just another hook lands from Jokage, but it ends up going badly, as now Spy going in with the Gnar, going on to Hextech and Nivea, taking Hextech and Nivea down. Look at this. Nivea, Azir Tower doing so much work. They're just fighting around it. Herald spawn up in the mid lane as another hook lands on to Only Going. As Only Going might get taken down here. The flash hook hits the Herald, and that gives Jokage an area to go in. Skyo taking really low, should go down here as, oh my gosh, look at the damage off the he as 2 fall. Little Luck going back in, trying to find the damage back as Emperor's Divide comes down. A triple kill for Soul. Only Going, the last member standing. They're trying to find the damage, and they do, as Punjabi secures the ace. 5 for 1 in favor of Comfy Gaming, and they're hitting the inhibitor towers.
Yeah, and the main thing here is like the once the engage came through from the Ornhorn, I think it kind of spelled doom for his team. They already had found enough, but their health bars are way too low, and we're gonna see another split ace, and the Crystalline Arrow is gonna come and stop the Gnar from taking this portal, and he is just barely going to get out away from the Ash W that could have canceled him. But the main thing here is that the Zero is now online as well as the rest of his team, and that was the only champion that wasn't exactly online just yet for the side of Comfy Gaming. But now, I think that spells a little bit more doom for the side of USC, as we see the Hex Slash come over from Jokage, and it's going to land on Ash!
He again getting hooked to take it down. Oh, that one was real close to fighting Skyo, but oh my gosh, look at this damage from Punjabi. The Requiem coming down, and the explosive shot from Tristana is going to be enough to secure the kill there. Third dragon of the game has spawned. It's the Hextech, and it is all Comfy Gaming.
Yeah, and it's just an absolute disaster for the side of USC. They have just fallen apart in pretty much every aspect of this game. The only person that's really kept their head up and has really found success in this game is Little Luck. But even he is 7-7. He cannot make everything happen this game. As we see, Spy is starting to run down this Ornn, and as the Crystal Arrow comes through, the Gnar is stunned, and it's a 4v1 topside, and he is on his own, and I am expecting him to go down without a trade kill, and there it is.
By going to fall on the top side as well, but Soul relentless, pushing in on this bottom side, making Skyo's life pretty painful there. And you know, for the time being, just one kill traded back over. It is a shutdown, 450 gold going over to this Echo. Like you mentioned, another shutdown going over to Echo here. But I think regardless, Comfy is still in the driver's seat. And, you know, with this 12,000 gold advantage, I don't see any way, at least for now, that USC is coming back in here as a nice buffer. Will get out. Enchanted Arrow is going to land. Ornhorn sounded as well here. Guatemalan has to flash away, but look at this. Skyo getting hit by the Jokage hook, and Punjabi going to find another kill for themselves here. Guatemalan continuing, going forward with that hail of blades. Dealing the damage as now only going, trying to tank up for the team. Having to flash away the rest of the backline from USC. They're going to fall as well here. Another hook lands?
Another hook, man.
This is like, too good. How many hooks are we going to land this game? This is absurd.
We got to keep a hook counter on when this guy's on stream, man. So the next thing I am looking at for the side of Comfy Gaming, and the way they have to end up closing out this game, is they are probably going to look to break this mid turret. If the wave did not get bursted. It's looking like Echo is going to be dead off of the Karthus ultimate coming in here, and now they can probably just translate this into running straight to Baron. I don't even think they have to push this turret anymore. I think once they get the turret, they can just run the Baron, but Gnar jumps in and uses the ultimate, and he's going to trade 1-for-1, and the tower still isn't down, so Soul could get run down here with the Ash slows, but I think they are just going to disengage. He is going to get out of there with the Lantern, and he has pieced out of that situation.
2 kills going over to Comfy, but Gnar going down again, so more gold getting fed into USC's pocket here. Hextech Soul spawning in 2 minutes. The Baron is live. So, for the time being, USC only has to worry about the neutral on the top side of the map. Not too worried about Dragon yet, but once that Soul comes, I mean, quite frankly, I don't know how they're going to be able to stop it. It's going to require 2 big picks. You got to kill Guatemalan, you got to kill Soul.
Yeah, and even if you do kill those 2, you still have the Karthus free firing on all of your champions, and he is no slouch either. He's almost 4 items. He's about 700 gold away from finishing this Void Staff, which is going to allow him to basically blow up any champion that's in front of his face. And he is about to roll over to level 16 in about 3 or so camps as well. And he is probably about to go down here. Unfortunately, the Thresh hook goes wide, and we're going to see a little bit of poke onto Little Luck. But he actually does not end up going down. His flash was expended in the trade with the Tristana, and all parties are just going to back away as Comfy Gaming retains the Baron vision that they have set up.
Yeah, and I think with that vision and with the chunk out, they're gonna just look to start up this Baron here, and I think they can. I mean, I don't see how there's gonna be any contest at all here. Little Luck working in, but not gonna make it in time as
He's stunned.
Baron secured by Comfy Gaming. Requiem comes down, and I just saw all of the health bars on the right side of my screen drop tremendously. Skyo and he almost going down from that Requiem here. I mean, this Karthus is online.
Yeah, he just rolled over to level 16 off of taking that Baron, and now that Requiem is doing an insane amount of damage. I believe it's doing about 1,000 damage before any form of defense mitigation does come through. On top of that, he does have the Leandre's Torment, so he is doing a ton of damage as we see Lady Luck get caught out there off of the mid lane push.
Bot lane inhibitor tower has fallen. The inhibitors mid and bot will also fall here, and you have to think Comfy wants to try and end this game now. They have the double waves in. They got two Baroned up siege minions as Soul going in with the Emperor's Divide. Gonna find one first, two down. Soul goes golden to buy some time as he is getting attacked in the fountain. Will fall as well. Only going is living, but just barely makes it to the fountain. One of the Nexus towers is gone. The next will fall as well here, and Comfy Gaming Shield will take the series 2-1.
Yeah, and really, really well played from Comfy Gaming to pick this comp and play it out pretty much perfectly. I don't see too many big blunders. I mean, it's mostly from the Narder and the Tristana where those blunders came from. And honestly, they weren't even that big. They mostly died when they only had a 450 gold shutdown. So it's not even that big of a deal that they did die because they still retained their lead and their lane pressure. But when we do come back, we will be coming with an interview most likely. So stay tuned for that.
Welcome back, everybody. We are here with the bottom lane of the victorious Comfy Gaming Shield, Guatemala, and Joe Kage. Congratulations on the win, guys.
Thank you.
Appreciate it, brother.
So, looking at this series, how do you guys think it went overall? I mean, you had solid game one, game two went a little bit south, despite what we thought was a good composition, and then game three, you guys kind of just took over. What are your overall thoughts on how the series went?
Well, you pretty much said it. Like game one, we knew how to play the game. Literally play off my hooks, which was a successful game, I might say, because we were afraid of the Malphite getting fed. I even told my top laner, like, bro, he's gonna camp you, and he died 7 times. Like, can we 9 times our top laner, please?
That's just it's a Sun classic.
But yeah, we actually took a step back. Like, okay, let's just play off like this, and we did it. Game two, yeah, our comp was I think better, but we didn't play it right, and we even said like they have to engage on us, and that's how we win. But we would always engage first, and it would be terrible. And then game three was just a domination, I would say. Yeah. So not bad overall.
Yeah, and speaking of those games 1 and 2, with those hook champions, my question is mostly towards Jokage. So sorry, Mr. Guaterman. I was just wondering, what if those hook champions are your main champs both in solo queue and in comp? Because you seemed way more comfortable on those champions than you did on the Renata, despite your Renata play still being pretty good. Just the Blitzcrank and the Thresh hooks were insane. We were shouting about them every single time you landed one of those hooks.
Yeah, I mean, hook champs are my comfort picks, so literally, and I even see that they banned like Blitzcrank and Nautilus after game one. But yeah, if any of those are open, I'll play it because I'm a big fan of making plays. So and I deliver. So always happy to do that. I do need to work on enchanters. I just think they're boring, bro. Like you just press a button and
So true.
that's all you do. But hook
Yeah, my
champs,
score feels the same.
you deliver. So
There you go. And I got one for Guatemalan. How did you feel game one playing Caitlyn against the Malphite and Vi? I mean, that couldn't have been easy.
I mean, it was no sweat. Either they use every ult on me and then my team cleans up because I have full faith in them, or they use their ult on somebody else and then I clean up. So, not a problem.
Fair enough. Fair enough. Confidence in the team is what we like to see. Before we end for today, any shout outs for either you guys? It's your time. You got the floor.
I guess
yeah.
honorable mention to Sol, our mid laner. He filled in for our main mid laner because he is sick right now, so unfortunate. But big shout out to him for filling in for us.
Okay.
Oh yeah, I mean that I was gonna say that, so you did for me.
Right. Well, in that case, just to spread the love, shout out to JoJo and Sun, because even though Sun went 0-8 on Jace, he still performed in the third game, so I'll give it to him there. And JoJo, he's just a monster, so
Yeah, everyone's a fucking beast.
There you go. Shout out to the whole squad. We love to see spreading the love everywhere. That is going to conclude our stream for today. Comfy Gaming Shield taking it in 3 games. Hope it's been fun for you guys. It's been fun for us. I've been Rychainz, joined by Sutekh. Have a great weekend, and we'll see you guys next time.
Peace.